Sorry about that. And a few things that were going wrong here. So, sorry about that. There was a little bit of a long delay for the people that are watching on Twitter slash Periscope, as my YouTube stream wasn't started always simulcast. So, sorry about clearing my throat on live television. But let me go ahead and get started. As a reminder, if you're watching on Twitter, it's a good platform to watch. But if you want to interact and ask questions, I always will encourage you to get on over to YouTube where I can see your comments. Love to engage, love to answer questions, and let you guys know what all I see and think about the Carolina Panthers. So, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member for the media, covering the Carolina Panthers. Today is September 2nd. I think it is Wednesday. You guys will let me know if I'm incorrect about that. Missed broadcasting yesterday. Panthers had moved something back a little bit, wasn't able to make some adjustments. But nevertheless, here we are. And you guys know how I do. It's not some big formal la 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 la. I like to be really casual and personal with you guys, talking to you about the Carolina Panthers. And today, we were afforded the great opportunity to talk with Carolina Panthers owner David Tepper. Yours truly was able to ask a few questions. So I'm going to go over some of the things that happened during that conversation, kind of abbreviating it and giving some of my thoughts to it. And certainly would like to hear any of your questions that you may have. B. Evans, what's going on? Sauce God, what's up? And Trill One, what's up? You guys are always welcome and highly appreciated if you have any super chats, way to donate to Charlotte Vibe and help us keep going as we are an independent media. So first thing that David Tepper was, I believe, asked, I got in about a minute late to the call. What's up, Tyler Styles? Was about the statue, because we haven't talked to David Tepper in quite a while. I think he was at a practice maybe within 2 weeks ago. By the way, does the owner of the Carolina Panthers have to go through Covet testing in order to get onto his own building? Absolutely yes. He said he was tested 4 times in order to get in the building. I'm not sure if that was different stages or just different tests. They wanted to make sure there was no false positives or something like that. But he has he has gone through some schedule changes. And Tyler Styles asking about my sleep schedule. Yeah, your boy's sleep schedule has been quite adjusted lately, not to mention that I am recently married, and we are, as many of you may be, having to deal with some homeschooling, and I am doing it this week, and it is a lot. Just like, again, I'm sure those out there who have done it know exactly what I'm talking about. But he's asked about, David Tepper was asked about the statue of Jerry Richardson, basically just reiterating that at the time that the statue was taken down, a lot of statues across the nation were being under attack that could be thought of as being not good character statues, if you will. Those are my words. And the statue was removed. And in regards to will it ever come back, he basically said, hey, if it was removed because it was a bad thing, it shouldn't come back because it's still a bad thing. Again, those are my words. I'm not quoting how he said it, but that is the gist of what he said in regards to the statue. As you know, the Carolina Panthers are practicing right now in Charlotte, not in Wofford College. And he said that part of Wofford was really mostly COVID driven. You know, they just didn't have the ability to do the things that they could do in Charlotte with the testing. And he kind of laughed and said, you know, here we're able to do so much. We're able to give every guy a suite to have as their own spot versus if we were at Wofford College, they just don't have that amount of space. So he mentioned that about being down in Spartanburg. And then in terms of Rock Hill, he feels like they're about 3 seasons out away from being in Rock Hill. And I think, judging by what he said today, he likes the Charlotte thing. I do hope that if they're not at Wofford anymore, that they take a chance to expand that training camp to some of the western areas like Raleigh or Wilmington at the beach. Just, I mean, it's the Carolina Panthers, so let's also, my thoughts, give a little North Carolina exposure. Let me, as I always like to do, go with some of these questions. I heard that it's up in the air for the quarterback position. I thought PJ would have been a shoe-in. So I will have to admit that normally I attend to practice, and it's random because I'm not one of the media outlets that gets tested every day, even mode. They are now about to go into game mode, which means media cannot watch entire practices. But I haven't been able to see a whole lot of PJ Walker and the backup Will Greer. So I don't have a lot of concrete eye observations to give you other than saying it is still a toss up. They Rule believes they'll keep two just because of the fact of how much other roster positions that you have to look at and make sure that you have depth there. But says certainly if he keeps three, it'd be like a week to week kind of thing, seeing about those backups. Let me put myself on mute just for a split second. All right, sorry about that. For some reason, my voice always changes once I get on here. Let's continue to go. I asked David Tepper about his thoughts on Coach Rule so far. So a lot of us that are in these virtual meetings, so you're not able, and today I appreciate it, to be quite honest with you. They kind of make you raise your hand instead of the normal free-for-all that we have when trying to talk. So I couldn't ask too many follow-up questions, but Tepper was asked about Rule. Just gave him compliments on being a great communicator, a disciplined guy, a process-driven guy. And, in my opinion, he didn't give us anything particular about what he's liking, what he's not liking. But he did go on to say, in terms of the way that he manages this team, that he loves football, he loves the fan, he loves the experience. And I'm mentioning that because he mentioned that in regards to having fans in the stadium, which is something I asked him about. He said that's what he wants to do. He did it for that reason. And, I like that he said he has other streams of income. So he's not like so focused on the business bottom line. Now, absolutely, he's concerned about it. He's aware of it. He's a businessman. But he's like, he wants to have fun. He wants to march in there with people and interact with the crowd when he can. So I almost forgot where I was going with that, guys. Dang, I forgot where I was going with that. Talking about Rule. Anybody want to help me where I just was at? Let me try to look at my notes. Anyway, he wishes they had fans in the stadium. And until they can, he's just going to make the best of it. Now, he did sound like, this guy is smart. They have had, the Carolina Panthers, a lot of science that was applied to trying to figure out how they could have fans in the stadium and having simulations. I guess like if we got X number of fans in the stadium, how likely is the virus to spread? And they ran in all these scenarios, and he's really a science-driven guy. So he kind of says like, man, I wish we could, but they certainly are respecting the political parts behind this to keep everybody safe. And he's just, waiting for anything to change, and we'll make those changes as soon as they can. Regarding Cam Newton, I don't have my complete notes, so I'm not going to speak incorrectly about that. And yeah, that's really about the extent. Just had some further notes that he about Rule. He likes that he's an old school, hard-nosed guy, and it's really a bunch of things that we heard before. So that's why I'm not going to go through a big, long spiel about that conversation today with David Tepper. I'll wait another second to see if some questions pop in. Now, we did talk to Tepper instead of Matt Rule, which I'm not too mad at because we haven't had a chance to talk with Tepper in quite a while. The 53-man cut down is looming. It's several days away from us. I would love to talk about projections and depth charts. Again, I have to refer to the fact that, unfortunately, I haven't seen these guys a lot with my own eyes, so I can't comment too much. And on Tep, what's up, God of Blackness? But yeah, both Tepper and Rule commented here on Taylor's comment, said that he definitely miss having fans there. And Tepper said like he hoped that we don't end up being like some of the other states, California, maybe New York, and just know that they're probably not going to have fans for the entire season. He also made a point to mention that the NFC South rivals are set to have fans, and you can't deny that helps. That's a lot of energy that you get to feed off. But they're just going to have to deal with the cards that are dealt to them regarding that. So that is it. I want to thank everybody for watching. Appreciate you coming on late night. I will try to, actually I won't try, I will continue to bring you all daily videos about this team. And hey, interaction is what I love. So if you have questions, let me know. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, or definitely hit the like button. Just takes a split second, helps other Panthers fans find out about me. And I'll see you next. What's up, Cody? Yes, you are late, but you know what? You can watch the replay. Have a good night.